Hey guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with another, well, I haven't done one of these in a while actually. I think I did this last summer. It was the last time I did one of these, but I'm bringing them back because we've entered the summer movie season. But anyway guys, I'm going to do a full-length, in-depth spoiler review on the first film to kick off the summer movie season. As you guys all know, that film is Avengers Age of Ultron. That's right, guys. So I'm doing an in-depth spoiler talk back. I'm going to just spoil the crap out of the movie. The movie's been out for over a week now, though. So it's been out since May 1st. And this Friday will be 2 weeks long, so I think it's definitely time, it's appropriate to post a spoiler review. I'm pretty sure anyone who loves movies has either seen the movie or, I don't know, or heard about the entire movie. And if you obviously haven't seen the movie yet for whatever reason, do not continue watching this video because I'm going to literally spoil the crap out of this. And I hope to do a couple spoiler reviews for a couple other big 2014 movies, 2015 summer movies. I think I'll do one for Ant-Man when that comes out, possibly Fantastic Four. I usually do it for the big superhero movies. Maybe Jurassic World, I don't know yet. But I plan on doing it for a couple of big summer movies. So, with that said, we got a lot of things to discuss with Age of Ultron. So let's get to it. Also, sorry this spoiler review is a bit late, guys, because I did see Age of Ultron this past weekend. I watched it again, so I have seen the movie twice, and that's usually when I do a spoiler review, I want to see the movie twice. Although last summer that wasn't the case. Like, I saw Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I reviewed it. Did a spoiler review after only seeing it once, because no way in hell was I going to see that pile of crap twice. And I did X-Men, I did the same thing. But I wanted to see Age of Ultron twice, because I felt it was necessary. I felt there were a lot of, like, jumbled moments in the movie, and I felt there was way too much, like it was very overstuffed. And for that reason, I definitely wanted to see the movie again. So here I am. And also, guys, real quick, if you haven't seen already, my winner video for my 1K subscriber digital copy giveaway is up on my channel. Check it out. 5 people won. If you want to know if you're one of those 5, check out that video. And I got a couple other videos coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. Got interesting things coming. But anyway, Age of Ultron spoilers. First off, right off the bat, I did see the movie twice. I saw it twice in 2D. Now that I have seen it twice, I'm just going to say this as a disclaimer. My rating that I gave it the first time I saw it in my actual review is not going to change. That rating will stay. That happened. My ratings, after I see a movie twice, sometimes my ratings change. And it's fine. It doesn't mean my rating system is flawed. It may mean I like the movie. I may like the movie more, or I may dislike the movie more the second time I saw it. But after having seen Age of Ultron a second time, I think I liked it slightly more. Regardless of that, I still feel that the problems I originally gave the movie still do stand, and for that reason, I'm not going to change my score. I still would give it a solid B+, a very high B+, which is still a great grade. It's just not my favorite Avengers movie. It is definitely not better than the first Avengers. I walked in the second time thinking maybe I might like it more than the first Avengers, which I gave a 10 to, mind you. But I don't like it more than the first Avengers. I still feel that the first one is superior because it had just the right amount of characters. It perfectly balanced all of them. And even though the action in this one is probably slightly superior, the action in that one still satisfies me. The humor is much better in that one, in my opinion, anyway. And it just... I think part of it might be nostalgia, but that's not the full reason why I love the first one more. That is, to this day, one of the best theater experiences I've ever had. I didn't feel that way when I watched Age of Ultron both times. I just found myself really enjoying the movie. That said, let's talk spoilers. But yes, that's how I feel about Age of Ultron. How would it rank in my top 10 of MCU films, or my top? Well, it's 11 now. Top 11. I think it would crack the top 5, honestly. Now, I gave Guardians of the Galaxy a higher score. I don't know if I like Guardians of the Galaxy more than Age of Ultron. I don't think I do. I think I like Ultron a little bit more, just a tad bit more. But ratings don't matter. It depends on it. It relates to how much I enjoyed a certain film. With that said, let's talk heavy spoilers for Age of Ultron. Now, as you guys know, one of the biggest problems I had with the movie that I mentioned in my spoiler-free review of Age of Ultron, my biggest problem was that I felt things were way too messy and way too much was going on. There was one whole plot point I didn't even pick up on the first time I saw the movie. I think that was because of and it's in the first scene, and I think that's because I was just so blown away by how badass the first scene is. I mean, the first scene in this movie is a million miles better than the first scene in the first movie, for sure. Even though I love that car chase scene in the SHIELD facility. I love that moment. That is a great moment to set up the movie, in my opinion. But this scene, and the way it paid homage to the first movie with that one long tracking shot of all the Avengers kicking ass at the SHIELD facility in Savokia. Let's move on. They're all kicking ass in that one badass tracking shot. You have the same score that was played in the first movie during that tracking shot. Josh Whedon, my goodness, can that guy pull off a freaking impressive tracking shot the way he did that. I just love him. I love when he does that. I hope he does that for the third. Well, he's not directing the third one, but I hope they do that for the third movie, okay? Because that is so damn awesome. I love that. Anyway, I was so blown away by how epic the opening scene of the movie was. I entirely missed the reason of why Scarlet Witch let Tony Stark take the scepter. So the Avengers are after Loki's scepter, which is in the hands of a few SHIELD employees or former employees, because SHIELD is now destroyed after the events of Captain America and Winter Soldier, but there's still a few secret SHIELD facilities out there in the world, and one of these facilities they stole Loki's scepter. Don't ask me how they got it, but they did. And the guy who's in charge of everything, Baron von Strucker is his name. He unleashes the twins, are two new characters in the movie who I still feel need a bit more screen time, and those twins are Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, to face off against the Avengers. And Scarlet Witch finds Tony Stark and plays her little mind game on him, and that causes her to see a vision, that he sees a vision of all the Avengers dead through the wormhole, and in outer space aliens coming and attacking them, and that's what killed them all. So this immediately freaks him out, and Scarlet Witch decides, you know what? This scepter is going to create what we want, what Strucker wanted, what everybody wanted, and that scepter, because the scepter has in one of the Infinity Stones. I know I'm getting way into too many things. I'm talking about too many things at once, but the scepter has one of the 6 Infinity Stones that is going to tie into Avengers Infinity War. Excuse me. There's 6 Infinity Stones. The scepter carries one of them. Okay, so Scarlet Witch saw Tony Stark's vision and mentally realized he is going to use that scepter to make Ultron. Because he knows that he has to have some sort of weapon. Tony Stark needs something else. He can't save the world, nor can he save his fellow Avengers because of what he saw in his vision. Now, this whole time, he had been working on this Ultron prototype, this artificial intelligence thing that would protect the world. It would be a better defense as opposed to his Iron Man armor, his Iron Legion armor, all that. And he was working on this prototype, but the one thing he didn't have was what was in the scepter, which is that artificial intelligence. That is something that goes way beyond what, like, Jarvis is. And that's what Tony Stark was looking for. So as soon as Scarlet Witch saw his vision, and Tony Stark saw his own vision, she's like, you know what? We're supposed to stop them. They want to take the scepter. We're supposed to stop them from taking the scepter. I'm going to let him take the scepter because I know he's going to want to do what we want them to do. And I didn't even pick up on that the first time I saw the movie. Because there's a scene right after the party scene where Ultron introduces himself to Tony Stark and all the Avengers, and he goes to the party scene. I mean, we have the party scene, and he attacks them in the party scene. They kill all the bots, but one of the bots escapes with Loki's scepter. And there's a scene where Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver go and visit Ultron back in Russia. It's in Russia. I don't know how to say Sovakoya. Anyway. And then I completely missed the bits of dialogue where he's like, I understand why you let Stark take the scepter. I completely missed out on that. So I picked up on that the second time I watched the movie, and I actually think that was a really, really interesting moment. And I'm glad, I like how Scarlet Witch has that power to make these people see these visions, and that is what eventually drives the movie, that whole moment. So she's basically the reason why Ultron becomes Ultron. She lets Tony take the scepter. If she didn't let him take the scepter, I don't know if we would have had Ultron would have came to power, because they tried to mess around with it. Ultron, what he does is he infects Jarvis, supposedly kills Jarvis, and then spreads himself throughout the internet, uploads himself into Tony Stark's Iron Legion bots, and attacks the Avengers at the party scene. So I thought that was really interesting, and then of course he makes his escape. And now I'm assuming one of those Ultron bots escaped the party scene because someone took the scepter. Obviously, the Avengers lost the scepter, so obviously one of those bots must have made out. Even though I personally don't recall seeing a bot survive, but later on, Ultron is in a different body. They have the scepter and so forth. And Ultron obviously can go throughout the entire internet. He's planning on, there was at one moment where they feared he was going to send missiles or use their launch codes, mess with the government's launch codes or whatever, and start, just killing people. And we eventually find out Ultron just believes in, he doesn't believe in the Avengers, and he wants to obliterate them. But he also believes that in order to help the Earth, he has to kill all the humans. Now, I know that doesn't really make a lot of sense, and that I still am trying to wrap my head around why Ultron felt that way. And I don't know, maybe if it's something I completely missed in the movie. How do you guys feel about that? But Ultron, what I'm getting from the movie, Ultron, that artificial intelligence within that scepter, and that was Ultron's belief system. That's what I'm getting from the movie. And yeah, it's a little hard to buy into automatically, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Now, one of my other huge problems with the movie in my first review that I still feel is still a problem, like I said earlier, the movie I feel was a lot more tightened together, and it was a lot less messy after I saw it a second time and really processed everything I watched the first time, because I had seen it a second time, and I got to pick up on all the little plot points I didn't even miss, or I didn't even realize, or things that just flew over my head. Now, there's still one thing that still bothers me, is the fact that Tony Stark right off the bat was trying to create, not a weapon, but something to protect the Earth from aliens in outer space. Because not just because of that vision he saw, even before that, he knew he wanted to make something to protect the Earth. And it kind of goes against what he stood for in the first Avengers. As we all know, in the first Avengers, he was not for that. Nick Fury was secretly behind the backs of all of the Avengers until Tony Stark and Captain America both found out about everything. He was using, what was he doing? He was trying to make weapons from the Tesseract, I think, or no. I don't remember. I gotta rewatch the first Avengers. It's been such a long time since I've seen the first Avengers. I actually wanted to watch it right after I watched Age of Ultron the first time. I was like, I gotta go watch the first Avengers on Blu-ray. I love that movie so much. It makes me want to watch that movie more. But S.H.I.E.L.D. was trying to make certain weapons, and I think they did involve the Tesseract. I don't know. And it just reminded Captain America of Hydra, and it was, it just, they didn't agree with it. And it pissed Tony Stark off, and he's like, this is not how we're gonna do this. I mean, this is not a good thing we're supposed to be doing. He was against that entirely in the first Avengers movie. Now in this movie, he wants to build a weapon that could possibly go wrong, or he wants to build something, in this case artificial intelligence, to protect the world from any alien threats that could kill the Avengers. But I mean, I'm not fully buying that, guys. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I still feel that Tony Stark I know that the Avengers are going to stick together, and I don't think there's going to be a threat. I mean, who knows? I may be in for a surprise. They may kill off the Hulk in the next Avengers movie. They may kill off Thor in the next Avengers movie. I don't know. I don't know if these characters die or live in the comics. I haven't read that. I've never read these comics. But I can't seriously believe that they are just going to kill, the core 4 Avengers members, okay? So I still just can't get behind the fact that Tony Stark wanted to do that. And that was his motives for actually going forward with this plan after they got the scepter, with trying to use what was in the scepter, the artificial intelligence, to go forward with the Ultron program. Anyway, bottom line, after the party scene, which was pretty damn epic, there's about 4 to 5 action scenes in this movie. Let's see. There's the opening scene at Savoyka in Russia when they're trying to get back the scepter. There's the party scene, which definitely had some pretty interesting action moments, and none of the team members had to put on their costumes or anything. They just were, out in the open, and they had to fight off these Ultron bots. Then we get to the scene in Africa when Scarlet Witch infects all of the Avengers. She uses her mind control powers on the Hulk, and he goes Hulk and destroys half the city. So you have the Hulkbuster Hulk fight. Then you have the scene where Ultron is trying to escape with that synthetic body. He's trying to upload, put himself into that body, which will just completely destroy the entire world. So you have Captain America, Black Widow, and Hawkeye trying to get that body back. And that was a great car chase scene. So that's 4. And the 5th action scene in the movie was the final scene of Savoyka, or whatever the hell it is, when they're all fighting off Ultron and all of the Ultron army bots. And Ultron is trying to use that sheen to lift the city, which will lift the entire city, which will lift it really high up in the sky, have it fall down, and basically destroy the Earth. Now, I still don't totally buy that plan, but you know what? I'll live with it. Anyway, so sometime after the first act, or getting into the second act, the Avengers head over to Africa because they find out that Ultron needs vibranium to build not only his armies, but he wants to build that synthetic body. He needs vibranium, which is what Cap's shield is made of. So in order to do so, he needs to get that vibranium. And one of the only people who has that vibranium is this arms dealer named Ulysses Clow. He's this arms dealer in Africa. So Ultron, and my poster just fell, didn't it? My Avengers poster. No, it had been falling literally even before I started shooting, guys. It's been falling all week. I don't know. It's cursed. But anyway, so that's what happens in about close to the middle mark of the movie. So Ultron goes to get this vibranium. The Avengers show up, and by Avengers I mean not all of them, except they have the Hulk waiting in one of the Quinjets, or they have Bruce Banner waiting in the Quinjet because they don't want the Hulk out. And yeah, I love that. I love that moment where he comes out of the Quinjet. He's like, "Guys, do you need the green guy or whatever?" He said. I love that. And they try to attack Ultron and the twins, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, but Scarlet Witch goes all out and uses her powers on Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. Not Hawkeye, actually. Hawkeye actually zaps her with one of his arrows, but he's trying to, revive the team because they all are seeing these visions now. And they all have their own different visions. Thor sees this vision on Asgard. Black Widow has this flashback to her days in where she was trained to become the person she is now, and Captain America has a flash or a flash forward to what could have been his first dance with Peggy Carter, and so we have all that unfold. And then we don't see Hulk's vision, which is pretty interesting, and could mean a few things. And then Iron Man sees that the Hulk is now... Bruce Banner has turned to the Hulk because Scarlet Witch got to him, acted with his mind. He's running rampant. He's now hulked out. He's running rampant throughout Africa, throughout the city streets in Africa. And he calls in the Victoria, or his Hulkbuster armor. The two of them have this awesome, badass duel out in out in the streets. I love the moment where he's in the Hulkbuster armor and he's pushing Hulk. He's like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. I love that. I don't know, that cracked me up. And I love the end of that scene where it paid homage to the first Avengers, where Hulk is like, and then the Hulkbuster just knocks him out, and then he goes flying off screen and it cuts to black. Perfect throwback to when Hulk knocked out Thor in the first Avengers, in my opinion. It would have been funnier if Thor knocked him out, because Thor never... I mean, I know they had that giant duel in the Hellcarrier in the first Avengers, Thor and Hulk, but and then Hulk got his revenge by punching Thor off screen in the first movie. Now Hulkbuster Iron Man knocks out Hulk in this moment, and I thought that was great. That was really freaking awesome. Then we get to the midway of the movie. We find out Hawkeye has a family, and they try to develop his character a bit, which I was actually glad they did, because honestly, of all the 6 of them in the first Avengers, Hawkeye was by far the least developed out of all of them. Definitely. So it was nice to see he had a family, but literally, and I love this, the entire movie, they're building up Hawkeye. They're giving Hawkeye funny lines. They're giving him good moments. They're building up his character. I'm like, I give a crap about Hawkeye now. And I'm like, they're going to kill him in the end. They're going to kill him in the end. They have him saying goodbye to his wife. He's kissing his kids. He's kissing his wife. He's not going to make it out of this. And I'll get to the end, but I really thought... I'm telling you this much, Joss Whedon really subverted our expectations with the character that they do kill off. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. It was genius. But anyway, so midway in the movie, and this is still my least favorite part of the movie, when they go to the safe house, this is the moment where I'm like, alright, I think things started to drag a bit. Right here, and this is where I got lost. When Thor goes off to go find out what his vision meant, I started to get... I was like, what are they doing here? I still do not understand the point of the scene of Thor getting in that fountain. He goes and finds Eric Selvig. He goes in that fountain thing, or that waterfall fountain thing, takes a dip in there, and understands what his vision means. I have no idea what that place is. I have no idea what the powers of that place is. Why does he realize what his vision means after seeing that, or going into that little pond thing? And then he just comes back later in the movie and ends up realizing he has a vision about the Infinity Stones, and realizes that somebody obviously wants these Infinity Stones out there. As we all know, it's Thanos. We got to protect him. We got to use that one Infinity Stone that's in Loki's scepter to create this vision body of that synthetic body that the Avengers later on steal from Ultron. Ultron got that vibranium and everything. He built the body up, and he's in the middle of uploading his mind into that body, or putting himself into that body. And at this point, he'll be unstoppable. He'll be able to kill everybody. But the Avengers come into that facility. I think they were in China, I want to say, or Japan, because of that Asian doctor who's in the movie. I think her name is Cho. I don't remember, or no, I don't remember her name. I don't want to say anything wrong, but I don't want to give you false information. But that's what happens, and they steal the body from Ultron, and so Ultron now has to build that machine that will lift up Savoyka and bring it crashing down, and thus blow up half of the world and kill millions of people. So they steal the body after, and this is when the movie picks back up for me. But right at that point, even though that was the moment where they wanted to establish character, they wanted to establish the relationship, or further develop the Hulk and Black Widow relationship, and the two of them end up kissing later on in the movie, which I actually like that relationship. I'm shipping it. I like it. I'm a fan of it. Nice work. So yeah, that's what happens. That's literally midway of the movie, right after they get spanked in Africa, when Scarlet Witch had taken over their minds, and then Iron Man had to subdue the Hulk, and then they go into hiding, and then they come back out to stop Ultron from uploading himself into that synthetic body that he's created out of vibranium. And obviously they want to use, I'm assuming they want to use the chip in the scepter. Yes, they do. They have the scepter. And I think, yes, they get the body and they get the scepter back, and then they create Vision, because Tony Stark realizes that Jarvis is still alive. He hid himself within the internet. I thought that was, I don't know, I love that moment. I thought that was pretty awesome. And he uploads Jarvis's mind into the body, and that then creates Vision, which is not the the I want to kill humans vision that Ultron wanted it to be. Ultron wanted to put himself in that, and Ultron in the Vision body would have wanted to kill everyone. Jarvis in the Vision body, however, being the completely intelligent, you know, Jarvis, the system that he is in that body, thus creates the very wise and methodical Vision, and that is what creates that character. Now, at first, when I saw the movie, I was like, all right, Vision's coming into the movie way too late, but and everyone was like, oh, he's such a badass, you know, one of the best new characters of the movie. No, I like Vision. I think I just want to see more of him, honestly. The scenes he had were pretty damn awesome. The scene where Ultron's trying to activate the machine, he's fighting off Thor, and Thor's trying to stall Ultron, and then Vision lifts up Thor's hammer and knocks out Ultron. That was great. It was awesome when he lifted up Thor's hammer to begin with. So that was great, and then the Avengers rally into Savoyka to take down Ultron and his Ultron army bots. Okay, and I thought that whole finale was great. I don't think it was as exciting as the finale of the first Avengers, though. The New York City battle, I don't know. I don't see. I mean, the foes were, I don't know. It felt like they took them out way too easily. It felt like the Chitauri, even though like the Avengers took out the Chitauri pretty easily as well. I just love that battle moment. It just had so many cool moves, and they just all blew me away. This movie, it also had very cool, well choreographed fight sequences that I think really worked. For sure, one of the best moments in that scene is where they're all in that, under those like pillars, and they're trying to protect that device, and they're trying to stop Ultron from turning it on. They're just picking off all of the Ultron bots. And we got that one long slow-mo shot of them all killing off bots. I thought that was great, for sure. And then the big reveal is that Quicksilver takes a range of bullets from Ultron, who's flying in one of the Helicarriers, I believe. Yeah, I think it's one of the Helicarriers. Yeah. I seriously thought they were going to do it. The whole movie, they're teasing us with Hawkeye. Hawkeye's got a family. We're going to kill Hawkeye off in this movie. I'm like, if you guys kill Hawkeye off, one, I will be upset, because I've grown to like Hawkeye more in this movie. He's a lot funnier. He's a lot more of a badass. I will be genuinely upset, so they would have done their job properly. But the other thing is, that would have been predictable as all hell, and I would have been pissed off had they actually done it. But they didn't, and had us, and completely threw us out of the loop, and ended up knocking off Quicksilver. I love that. I thought that was genius. And I didn't feel bad when Quicksilver died, though. Didn't feel that emotionally attached to him, because he was just introduced into the movie. So that's the one bad thing. They introduce a character who I think could have been great, for sure, but I didn't care that much when he died, because he didn't really show me a whole lot. I mean, he had badass moments in the movie, don't get me wrong, guys. But, I mean, I would have loved to have seen him, I don't know, maybe in another movie or something, to further establish him as a character, I think. I don't think we got enough of him. I also thought it was really convenient that Tony Stark was supposedly the one who killed the twins' parents. So, and I understand that as their motive, and then when they see that Ultron wants to do bad, and he wants to kill millions of people, they side with the Avengers. I also think they sided with the Avengers I mean, I know that they don't want to kill people like that, but I don't know. They've hated Tony Stark the whole movie, so isn't there still going to be beef between Scarlet Witch and Tony Stark? I think so. But Quicksilver bites the dust, and I love how right before they cut to the shot of Quicksilver hit, they cut to the shot of Scarlet Witch's reaction, because she feels, because that's her twin brother, that he got shot and he's died. And I didn't realize that the first time I saw the movie. I was just so in the moment. I was like, who got shot? Who's dead? And then they cut to Scarlet Witch. I didn't even pick up on it. When the second time I saw it, I said, that's why they cut to Scarlet Witch first. I thought that was great. That was a great idea to cut to her first, then cut back to Quicksilver hit by the bullets, and Hawkeye and the kid free. And we all thought the kid was dead. My whole audience, the first time I saw the movie, lost it. They were like, oh, the kid's dead. and then he moves, and everyone's like, oh, everyone like breathed a sigh of relief. But anyway, that's the entire movie. Then everyone makes it out. They kill off all the Ultron bots. Vision kills the final Ultron bot. Scarlet Witch kills the main Ultron in his main body. And that's it. They're done with all that. Then they have a new Avengers facility. Iron Man heads out, goes doing his Iron Man thing. Hulk rides off on the Hulk carrier in his Hulk form. I have no idea where he's going. I think part of him is like, I don't want to endanger Black Widow. You know, we're in this relationship. I want this relationship, but I don't want to mess anything up. So I have no idea where they're going with that. That's going to be pretty interesting to talk about in the next Avengers, or in the next movie Hulk's in. And then Hawkeye goes back to his family. Scarlet Witch, Black Widow's at the new Avengers facility along with Captain America, and they're training new Avengers recruits. They're training War Machine, they're training Vision. War Machine and Falcon are both in the movie, Anthony Mackie and Don Cheadle, and that was great to see them. And then Scarlet Witch as well. So I like how they're creating their own new Avengers team, because, you know, Thor can't be there all the time, Iron Man can't be there all the time. I think that's pretty damn awesome. And I love how they end it where Captain America's like, Avengers, and he's about to say assemble, and they cut to black, directed by Joss Whedon. Love that. So all in all, guys, Avengers Age of Ultron is a pretty damn funny movie. I think the humor wasn't as good as the first movie. I think some jokes just didn't hit. And it definitely wasn't as funny the second time I watched it. And that's not because I've seen the movie once already, and I already know the jokes that are coming. But, I mean, they didn't get my audience to laugh. And I'm assuming everyone in my audience in my second time I saw it have never seen the movie. So, they didn't laugh that much. So, humor isn't perfect. The first night I saw it, though, because my theater was literally packed, everybody laughed hysterically at everything. So, humor definitely was not as great. And Ultron himself, although I love the character of Ultron and just how, what's the word? He's so sarcastic and so humorous. Like, I know he had a lot of, like, great lines in the movie. I still think that his reasoning behind everything should have been further developed. And I think the moment of when he gets uploaded, or when he supposedly kills Jarvis, to the moment of when he reveals himself to the Avengers, that happened way too quickly in the movie. I think we needed a little bit more development maybe beforehand, or I don't know, maybe we needed another scene of Ultron earlier. I just felt he at moments he felt like just the carbon copy villain we've seen before, just literally like in the scene where Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver go to see him. He's sitting on this throne, he reveals himself to them. It's like we've seen it before. I like Loki a lot more as a villain, even though Ultron was definitely a great mix, and probably the second best villain of Phase 2, because let's face it, the Mandarin sucked, Malekith sucked, Ronan was alright, but no. The best one probably was Hydra / Winter Soldier, and the second best would definitely be Ultron, I think. But definitely not. No one tops Loki yet. But that's how I feel about Avengers: Age of Ultron, guys. Also, love the Stan Lee cameo. I thought that was great. Definitely one of Stan Lee's better cameos. And the post-credit scene. Thanos coming in, breaking into the vault on Asgard, stealing the Infinity Gauntlet, and he says, "Fine, I'll just do it myself," or whatever he says. I love it. That was just perfect. Perfect. One of the best post-credit scenes in a while. Because I can tell just by the way Thanos is speaking, how angry he looks, or how calm, but at the same time, like, mad he looks, you know? He's like, fine, I think I'll just have to take matters into my own hands. I love it. One of the best post-credit scene of anyone. Definitely better than the first one where we just got that glimpse of Thanos. Definitely blows the first Avengers post-credit scene out of the water. One of the best of the entire MCU. For sure. I love it. All that said, guys, my grade is still going to stay the same for Avengers: Age of Ultron. B+. I love the movie. If you'd like to see the movie again, I think you might like it more than the first time you see it. It depends. It really depends on how you look at the movie and whether or not you liked it at all to begin with the first time. If you liked it the first time, I think you'll like it the second time as well. Things will be a lot clearer for you. So yeah, that's how I feel about Avengers: Age of Ultron, guys. I'm sorry this review is way longer than it needs to be, but I wanted to go really in depth and just give my thoughts on pretty much every scene that really mattered to me. all that said, guys, what did you guys think of Avengers Age of Ultron? Spoiler heavy. Go ahead. Just go nuts in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about certain things. You feel certain things were not working in the movie. What was your favorite scene in the movie? Mine was probably the Hulkbuster scene. Probably. There were a lot of... Probably the opening scene, though. That actually might take my place. Even the party scene was great. A lot of great moments, definitely. So, guys, what did you think of Avengers Age of Ultron? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you stood around the whole thing. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in my next video. And, bye-bye.